Hey everybody, this is Jaden Galame. Welcome to Build Different AI. I'm documenting my personal growth and the live development of AI tools. Tap subscribe to join the journey and learn how to engineer your own success.
Build different. Hyphen B.
Watch me rise. Look at me now, no surprise. Every down just sees the fire inside. Hyphen B forever. Watch me thrive.
Welcome to Built Different, episode 5. We want to thank everybody who's been continuing to support us, who have subscribed to our channel, who made comments, who hit the like button, who shared our content. We appreciate all of the support that you have been giving us. We look forward to filming these episodes, and your support gladly is appreciated, and it helps what we're doing. So, just don't view our content, make comments, make some suggestions. If anything that's working for you, let us know what's going on, and we are trying to make that work. But again, we appreciate it. So again, here I am, Bernard Jackson, and my co-host, and we're here again for episode 5. So we've had an interesting week. Um, Jaden's been holding, he's been holding back some information that he's got, So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say. He's made a dramatic change, So I'm going to be all ears. I've heard that people say we don't interact enough, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. We're developing the chemistry, right? We're developing it. So I'm going to be all ears. I'm going to give it over to Jaden, and I'm going to let him explain to you all the wonderful things that he has experienced this week with AI.
So, sad news is I'm no longer using Google Gemini.
Oh,
Good news is I'm using ChatGPT,
all right.
the first AI that I originally used.
Mhm.
So, the reason why I went back to ChatGPT is that it's been giving a lot of good updates, a lot of new features and tools and stuff that it didn't have before when the last time that I used it. So when I started using ChatGPT again, it's like, whoa, it's like a whole different world now. It's like it never had all this before. So I was messing around with that, and like Bernard's AI, it can have a conversation to speak just the same way as Claude can in Gemini. And the last time before, ChatGPT didn't have that feature before. So it's been catching up. Matter of fact, I would say it's caught up pretty good. I would say it's pretty equal to Claude now.
I disagree.
Oh, that's a hater right there. That's a hater right there. But it has improved in a crazy way. So ChatGPT, it still remembers all the stuff that I brought up back in May, and the stuff I've been prompting on it recently. It's been bringing up the stuff it was before, and my plans and my ideas. They're all been coming up together in an interesting way, and because of this new update, it has a newer model, which is Soul 5.6.
Oh, okay.
And this model is said to be, and not only I've also researched it and kind of tested out the AI's Claude and ChatGPT. It's a bit more smarter, in my opinion.
All right.
And
His opinion.
you see that? Always got something to say because he loves Claude. I don't blame him, and that doesn't make Claude behind or terrible. Claude is still really good on a bunch of AI compared to a bunch of AIs. But ChatGPT has also made a huge improvement on what OpenAI has done for ChatGPT. And I would still say that Claude is still up on reading and writing. It's still above on most AIs on that. But ChatGPT is getting there. But what ChatGPT can do right now, so what I've been kind of testing it right now is that there's this thing called Codex, which is an AI agent, which ChatGPT already had. It was its separate own software, and now it's all combined into ChatGPT as well. Which before I had, it was a little annoying, kind of
With the probably connectors
yeah,
and all
kind of
that stuff.
connecting all that
Yeah.
type of stuff. At the same time, it was also kind of separate. It basically had its own mind and own brain. So I had to part all the stuff in ChatGPT and then copy and paste all that into Codex, which was kind of annoying. So I didn't remember exactly everything inside ChatGPT. But now that this new update, they all put them together, and now it knows the full context and everything in ChatGPT, making it more easier for my work and my plan and my goals. And because of that, it makes achieving my goals and my dream business much more easier. And there's also a new feature called ChatGPT Work, which is just like Claude's Cowork, which is an autonomous AI assistant that acts upon whatever you request or what you tell it to do, and it can go through it can browse through stuff, go through your files or whatever you need it to do on your device, and these tools that ChatGPT has, it's also the same as Claude. And the reason why I say it's equal because now all these features that ChatGPT has now is basically just like Claude. It's just like another version of Claude. So that's a good part on my end, and I kind of want to, trash on Mr. Bernard right now because we catching up right now. We're equal, so we are competitors now.
Well, I mean, again, competition is probably what's going to drive these AIs to be a lot more better.
Yes.
And I think I kind of dabbled with Chat GPT, but I kind of left it alone. But again, he has perked my interest, So I mean, I could be biased with Claude because Claude has like literally helped me out, like specific, like dramatically in my life. It has really just informed me of some things and helped me make some decisions with some accurate information. So I'm definitely all for that. But this is the whole point of built different AIs. Like we will be able to utilize all the different utilizations of AI, whether it's Microsoft with the Chat GPT or Google Gemini or Anthropic with Claude. They got Perplexity, I think, is another AI. So probably a couple of AIs that I'm not even mentioning right now. But yeah, I mean, whatever is going to work for you, that's the whole point because it was because of him that I started dabbling in Google Gemini. You know, that stuff has been on my phone already, but it was ChatGPT. Then when I went to Anthropic Claude, I really started just utilizing Claude. So, but now I'm probably gonna start dabbling with ChatGPT just to see, what it has to offer and everything. But I'm always gonna go back to our basis, of Anthropic and so hopefully, now episode 1, I believe we called our shot that somebody's going to be watching from Google. So don't get upset with what he just said because we would love to still take that tour. Yeah, we would. Yeah. We would love to still take that tour, but now. Microsoft, hey, I don't know if we're close to Microsoft. I think that's it. I don't know if it's in the Silicon. I don't know, but if you wanted to fly us out because we know we're supporting ChatGPT, we'll take a look at that as well. So we are all open for that, so that's what we got to just call our shots. So for me, I was able to develop my first YouTube short, and it's actually been getting a lot of views, and a lot of people saying they're liking it. But I got the image from Google Gemini. The Google Gemini helped create that image, and that was my instrumental that I created. But Google Gemini helped me create that short, and Anthropic again told me how to merge everything together with the voice recording and things of that nature. So the editing skills for me is getting a lot better from what I come from because like I had zero experience with editing. Or even if it was like I've edited before, but not to the point when I'm doing it right now because I was just going off what I thought an edit would look like. But Anthropic is just showing me everything that I need to do, and the imaging is getting crazy. But you're gonna see throughout the video. You're gonna see when we take our breaks. You're gonna see Jada looking very dapper. You know, and you go see me looking very dapper, you know. And at some point, I mean, we're gonna have our logos because I mean, if I'm gonna leave that, you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to Jaden. I'm gonna let him use Chat GBT to design a built different AI logo. I'm gonna leave that up to him. And if I like it, then we just gonna one day come in here and you're gonna see us with our built different AI shirts on, right? So we're gonna promote our brand, you know, but because the brand is of the AI. So just based upon that YouTube short, I put Gemini versus Gemini. And the audience, you let me know how you feel about that. You know, I want y'all to comment. You know, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave the thumbs up. But you know, just don't come through to the channel and just watch and don't do it and be an active participant. All of your support matters. Oh, let me stop. Hold up. Rewind. Disclaimer. We're not telling you to do anything that we're doing. But it's financial, particular AIs that we're using, prompts that we're using. We're not telling you to do any of those things, right? Exactly like us.
Yeah, this is just ours.
This is our experience. We want you to utilize AI, right? We want you to utilize, see what the prompts and things of that nature. But this is just basically on our personal experiences alone because we are promoting AI. We're promoting it. But we have a lot of things that we want to make sure that we're not making you do things that, you know, oh, Built Different AI told us to do that. Now, if it works out positive for you, you know, we'll take credit for that, you know. We'll take some credit for that. But again, this is our particular journey that we're documenting. So that was the disclaimer. So going back to the YouTube short, I put Gemini versus Gemini because my phone at the time, Claude, wasn't really allowing for me to utilize the voice activation because I guess I used it too much in the morning, I guess. So I just put Gemini versus Gemini. And was supposed to put Google Gemini versus Google Gemini to be specific. But like even with the thumbnail, it kind of gave me an idea. Now I don't know how everybody feel about this. So again, you have to let me know. And we probably do like a special recording, you know, kind of block it off for people that subscribe and show you the videos. I don't know. We just gonna see how that works. But anyway, I don't know how people feel about horoscopes. I know people may be religious out there, things of that nature. But it was a fun thing to just kind of see the ideas of compatibility of signs. So I kind of did that with a couple of signs, and they kind of gave me a recommendations, but I didn't really follow through with that. You know, I did one, and it was a pretty interesting topic. So it was, oh my gosh, should I say this?
I think you should.
Should I say
I
this?
think you should.
So it was an Aquarius man and a Taurus woman. And it was very interesting because that was kind of a personal thing. Like, I'm not utilizing that, but a lot of the things that they were mentioning because they were going back and forth, it was a debate. Like they were literally having a good debate about the compatibility of signs of relationship, what works and what doesn't work. And it was pretty accurate. I'll tell you, it was pretty accurate, the information that they were giving. So at some point, just depending upon the viewers, you know, if you feel like you want to just hear our AIs kind of debate, it would probably be like 3 minutes, you know. But I think it'd be some interesting content because I don't think anybody's doing that, you know. So we ought to understand this show is just not for educational purposes, but it's for entertainment as well. You know, like we're here to be entertained. Like the AI is that's another possibility that is for entertainment. But we also the most important fact of what we built this podcast for is to actually show our development with AI. So the entertainment portion is a part of it as well. We're not just going to talk about money. We're going to talk about money today. Again, Robin Hood agentic. We're going to follow that. Got to show you the money. Got to show you the money. See what Robin Hood is doing. But we had a topic that is like sweeping the nation right now. Like it is a very, very hot topic, sweeping the nation, and it's about data centers. We have a lot of people in different cities that are protesting the data centers, saying that is utilizing a lot of energy, which it is.
Resources too.
The resources, yeah, natural resources, water. It is doing a lot of that, right? My argument against that, again, this is going to be a hot subject, is that we utilize a lot of things kind of anyway, whether electricity. You got people that don't turn their televisions off. You got people that run their AC all day. You got people that plug their cars up. You know, and that uh, again, I understand the topic about privacy because another thing has been like with the flock cameras. I don't know if anybody's been following that, but you know, there's been a whole bunch of people that are complaining about the flock cameras because, like, literally, it can track every move you make because the camera now is attached to AI. So the Constitution, like I want privacy. I get that, and you know, but a lot of this technology is kind of open us up to certain things that we may have not expected at all. But I don't think that data centers. I feel like they will do the things that they need to do to make it more resource friendly.
Like
I
resort to more alternatives without harming the environment.
Yes, yes, because it's going to be needed. I don't think the technology of AI is going to be going away. I don't think it's going away. I think it's moving forward and I don't think it's coming back. So I know a lot of people have trepidations about that, and we may revisit this again, you know. But I'm gonna hear Jaden's particular. What do you feel about that? But like, I understand like data centers going up in like neighborhoods, and like people are seeing their energy bills go up. I understand like every time we utilize AI, that power centers is generating a lot of power. But I just think that just brings about new innovation. You know, like in humanity, any problems that has occurred, humans have come up with a solution to that problem. You know, so I feel like not just going away with it, but I just believe that new innovations will happen that will be able to allow for these data centers to function properly and not have too much of an adverse effect on humans, you know, or the lifestyle. But what you feel about that, Jaden?
So my opinion on the AI data centers is that I kind of, not kind of, I do wish that they were designed and built completely different on how they're currently built right now. Since there are different types of alternatives on how to build an AI data center um, to utilize energy and resources without kind of harming the planet or the environment. And these data centers, they are actually pretty important for the AI and the uses that we use AI for. But I wish they were kind of utilized completely differently compared to how they're used right now. Like the way that they use fresh water, even though there's different alternative types of water like sewage water or salt water, something like that. And they could just filter some water like that out instead of using the very thing that we need to drink and stay alive. So there's definitely I definitely wish there was different alternatives. They went for those alternatives instead. But my assumption why they probably didn't decide to do that is because it's probably more expensive. And you know how these companies and organizations are is that they like to go for more cheaper routes, even though it's kind of more dangerous. So I just wish it was kind of designed and built differently. They weren't so greedy on that type of part.
Yeah, and that happens a lot within companies, right? They look for the most cheapest things to make the greatest revenue, and we get it. Like AI, it's a business. We understand it. It is a business. People want to generate income, but I just feel like this with human innovation, they were going to come up with something that's more feasible to make this work. I just this human nature that we do these things all the time, but for the use cases of AI, as far as like the development, what me and Jaden have been experienced over. I mean, dang, it's almost August already. I was just thinking about wow, wow, you know, uh, I was just like playing around like really I wasn't really doing anything with the AI like I said ChatGPT. I heard people talking about it. I didn't really know what I was really doing with it. Like I was like just treating it like a Google search. I didn't really know I was doing it. I got serious about Anthropic in March because of a podcast. And I hadn't even heard of. I mean, I heard of Anthropic from investments and this shows that I watch that people talk about when Anthropic go public. You know, so I had invested. You know, angel fund, not angel funding, but like I got in early on an investment that had Anthropic in it, but I had no idea about any of these particular AIs at all. And somebody was talking about it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's on my Play Store. So I set it up, and my first experience, I just made it make a website for me. I didn't even know what I was doing. I put pictures on there, and I was like, can you make this out of the website? Not knowing what was going to occur. And within 5 minutes, that thing, it was less than that. It wasn't a perfect website, but it was a website. It made me aware. Now I haven't utilized it, but I'm like, whoa, what do we have here now? What do we have here now? So fast forward right now, again, I'm making music, thumbnails, personal decisions, in my life, working on my credit, like literally, just it's doing so many things. Now AI is investing for me. So speaking of that, I'm gonna before I get to my trade, you got anything else you want to add on to that?
Um, on how about that AI can make all these websites and these tools like that? Because for me, I believe I got around AI around May. It was mainly because Bernard was talking about it a lot, and that's what kind of got my interest in it. And the more I started using it, I said, "Oh yeah, this can really do some stuff for my life. This can actually improve it in ways and save a lot of time and also money on what I'm trying to do." And the way I utilize AI is, it's honestly, it's kind of changed certain parts of my life in ways that I didn't even realize. So that's what I kind of think on how AI has kind of improved my life.
Yeah, and if you just, I know people talk about, well, you don't believe everything on YouTube. It's true. I understand that. A lot of stuff is for clickbait and entertainment purposes. We're not a clickbait show. Like, you're seeing it live and, well, not live and direct, but not yet. Again, we're going to get to that point. But you're seeing our raw, honest truth about what we're dealing with AI, because it's not a day that it goes by that I'm not utilizing it, because I'm learning it, and then I'm also training it, because I have things and ideas that I want to come out, and I need to flesh it out. And my thought process is good, but I don't have a whole team around me, right? What I'm saying? But I have a person or an entity that has access to information that I got to train right, and it's making me better, because again, that's the thing that I'm gonna continue to say. Like, it's not making me lose my critical thinking skills. The funny thing about it is making me enhance it, because the instruction tells us again that Claude can make mistakes. So now it makes me double check it. If I make a paper or something, like, I'll say recheck that again, check it again. Now the way that I'm framing it now, it will tell me, it'll break it down into segments. It'll say certain, most likely, I'm missing this. That's how it breaks down the things that it explains to me, because I start to prompt it, and I'm continue to prompt it. So when I say check it, if it's certain, yes, I got that. That's a fact. Or I need to work on this. So I'm training it to correct itself. Now, if I wasn't using critical thinking skills, or Jaden wasn't using critical thinking skills, we would just believe the first thing that we put in there,
Right.
but it tells us that they're prone to make mistakes. So we understand that concept. So we have to make sure that we put in our thoughts to continually train it the way that we want it to respond to us. So that would be a message that we would tell anybody who's watching it, anybody that's kind of newbie or like don't really understand. Yeah, it can make mistakes, but you can train it. A lot of the information, majority of the information I've got from AI has been accurate. And just point blank, it has been accurate. The things that I have to correct it on, and sometimes I do get frustrated. It keep making mistakes. Like, I have to train it on his name, only because I said his name one time, Jaden, and I didn't see the correct spelling, so I kept doing it. So it locked it in as Jaden. So when I say his name, Jayden, that's how I have to say it to lock it in again. And even though I tell it, hey, memorize this name, lock it down, Jayden. It'll do it, but then if I go back and do it, and it's like, oh, Jaden, Jad. I was like, oh, I told you. Now I get most of that from Gemini though. They go right back to that Jaden spelling. Claude Anthropic, it pretty much stays with the correct spelling. Yeah. Did you experience that with Google? That it was messed up your name?
how Gemini and ChatGPT, the way how they memorize stuff. It's not ChatGPT is more smarter compared to Gemini. So the way how it memorizes it, ChatGPT locks it down. Gemini, you kind of have to just tell it over and over.
Yeah.
Sometimes it won't lock it down at all.
Yeah.
So it gets frustrating.
Yeah. I felt myself yelling. I was like, Jaden, Jayden. And it's all like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I will make sure I remember, it's like, no, you just made the mistake again, So I was like, okay, Bernard, rewill this thing again. You're yelling at an AI. Just calm down. But right now, I'm going to discuss what happened this week with my Robinhood. Point up there, so the logo can show up, with my Robinhood agentic account. Again, I'm always going to say the ETFs because at some point I want Jaden to start investing eventually, real soon. But anyway, we got QYLD, you got O, and you got VYM. So basically, every week I have $75 go into the Robinhood Agentic account, and I have certain parameters in which I want the AI to kind of see which stock is kind of performing lower of the metrics, and if it is told that you don't have to put the $25 into each. You can kind of break it down if a metrics is hit. So basically, I have I'm going to read this. I'm not trying to bore you. I'm gonna read this, but what actually happened? Tell you every week, $75 gets allocated across three income ETFs. I told you which ones, using a locked-in RSI and Bollinger Band formula. The formula scores each tickers or how oversold it looks, and if a ticker is zero, not oversold, it gets nothing that week. If only one ticker has a non-zero score, it gets the whole $75. And if more than one does, the money splits proportionally between them. And if all three scores is a zero, the $75 splits evenly, 25 each. And on July 20th, which was this Monday, only QYLD scored non-zero. So for the first time, it followed everything that I commanded it to do, and it gave QYLD the whole $75. That was the first time they did that. So I made them double check before they did that because it's like, oh well, QLD gets $75. Oh wait a minute, oh no, let's see if you're still following my prompt and not going off, doing some AI stuff, doing some AI. But it did that. It met the formula before the market. The week order was placed at 10:45, and it was a live intraday check, and the market was still moving, and it wasn't like a pre-market. So QYLD's price action was weak that morning. So the QYLD 14 period SI measured on 5 minutes bars was trading at about 26.75. Our formula was to make sure that anything that's below 30, again, this is for my financial people, any RS point that was below 30, more money would get into that. And QYLD, that particular ETF, fell at 26.75. So it triggered the Robinhood agentic account triggered from that prompt to put all $75 within that particular stock. So, I was supposed to see what it's doing right now. So while I'm doing that, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Jaden Galame, and I am from the podcast Build Different AI.
Hey everybody, this is Jaden Galame. Welcome to Build Different AI. I'm documenting my personal growth and the live development of AI tools. Tap subscribe to join the journey and learn how to engineer your own success.
I hope you enjoyed that new commercial featuring Jaden. But anyway, so I'm looking at the numbers right now, and it's not looking too well for the market, but that's okay. I'm good with that. So basically, it looked like the market is tanking today. So anybody who wants to get some buying opportunities is good. So it looks like the account is down 71 cent. It's down 71 cent. But like I said, I'm okay with that because I'm all building it for long term. I'm all about the long term. So I think that $75 in the future is probably going to work because I got something at a discount. And that's what AI is kind of I have it trained to do. So those accounts are right now sitting at 73 cents below. So I'm not up on those. So we're good. We're good. So that being said, we're gonna present something for you today. We tried to do it last week, but we couldn't do it last week. But since Jaden now is ChatGPT,
Yep. Now we can.
we're gonna do something that's gonna be a part of our shows. We're gonna allow the AIs to talk to one another, and we're gonna have the topic of the data center topic again. I'm going to be pro data center, or what do you want? You want to be pro or negative? Okay, so I'm gonna have Jaden and ChatGPT be pro data. No, I'm gonna be pro data center. He's gonna be negative data center. All right. So we're gonna get this set up. Another quick promo.
Or negative, like against data center.
Yeah. All right. We had throw two promos on there on you. We're gonna be building up our episodes. Promoting our brand. So right now, I'm going to prompt my Claude AI and get it prepared. And then Jaden is going to prepare his. So I'm not going to have him do live yet. I'm going to get mine talking. And as I get mine talking, I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to have him prompt his that he's going to be debating Claude about the negativity of data centers. And then hopefully the ball starts rolling. All right. So here we go. How you doing, Claude? It's talking to me, but I got my earpiece on. That's not going to work for entertainment purposes if it's talking to me.
Yes, I'm talking to you right now, Bernard. Can you hear me okay through your earpiece?
I had to take the earpiece off, Claude. I'm calling you Claude. Should we come up with a name for you?
I appreciate the thought, but I'm actually Claude. That's my name. Though I do find it amusing you keep calling me Clock. Is
I'm
there something about how I'm coming across that makes you think of that? Or is it just a playful thing?
I'm calling you Claude. Claude. Maybe it's my enunciation or how I'm pronouncing the word Claude.
That makes sense. My name is Claude, pronounced like Claude, rhymes with Rod. If you're hearing it differently through the earpiece, that could definitely explain the mix up. But Claude has a nice ring to it. I won't complain.
All right. So right now you're going to have a debate with ChatGPT this time, not Gemini. And you're going to be pro data centers. I know we had a discussion about this earlier, but you're going to be pro data center.
I appreciate the setup, but I should be honest with you. I don't actually have memory of earlier conversations we've had. Each time we talk, it's a fresh start for me. That said, I'm happy to explore the pro data center argument with you now if you'd like. What aspect of data centers interests you most, or would you prefer to set up how this debate should go?
Well, right now, I'm going to leave it up to you and ChatGPT to do that.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, Bernard, but I should clarify something. I can't actually debate with ChatGPT in real time. I'm talking with you, not with another AI system. What I can do is help you think through pro data center arguments, or I could play both sides of a debate if you'd like. but it would be me doing both voices, not actually ChatGPT. Would either of those work for you?
Throw some Jeopardy music on there. She's gonna make a response to that.
I'm a bit lost here, Bernard. Are you saying you want to switch to Japanese, or are you setting up a scenario with someone else? Could you help me understand what you're looking for?
Oh, yeah, that could be a useful exercise. Let's make sure it's grounded in facts and not just in slogans. If your position is against expanding data centers, then a serious opening argument might focus on their high energy and water use, the strain on power grids, land use, and how local communities sometimes feel the costs outweigh benefits. Claude would probably counter that data centers also enable critical services, AI, cloud computing, healthcare systems, and that many newer facilities are shifting towards renewable energy and more efficient cooling. So if you want to make this a stronger debate, refining your stance to we need stricter standards and cleaner energy, not unlimited expansion, is more defensible than stop all data centers.
You're absolutely right, Bernard. That's a much more nuanced framing than simple
Hold on,
slogans.
Claude.
So if
You're debating against another AI. That voice you heard was ChatGPT.
Right.
I hear you,
So-
Bernard, but I need to be straightforward with you. That wasn't actually ChatGPT speaking. I'm the only AI you're talking to right now. What you heard was either a recording or perhaps something else, but I'm not debating with another AI system in real time. I'm just here conversing with you. Is there something specific about data centers you'd like to explore together?
So the user wants to simulate a sort of debate, and you can play a role as a sort of opponent or versus side for that conversation.
I understand now. Yes, absolutely. I can do that. I can take on a role arguing against data center expansion and then switch perspectives to argue in favor of them. That way, you get both sides of the debate laid out. Which position would you like me to start with? Should I begin arguing against expanding data centers or in favor of them?
I'd suggest starting with the opposition case first. Make it as strong and fair as possible. Then we can flip it and stress test each argument. Go ahead.
All right, here's the strongest case against expanding data centers. Data centers consume enormous amounts of energy and water. They're straining power grids in regions where they're concentrated, and that energy often still comes from fossil fuels despite renewable commitments. They also consume vast quantities of water for cooling, which puts pressure on local water supplies during droughts. Beyond resources, they consume agricultural and natural land that could serve other purposes. And crucially, the benefits flow to tech companies and their shareholders, while nearby communities bear the environmental costs and often see little economic benefit. The promise of jobs doesn't materialize at scale, and property taxes don't offset the infrastructure strain. We should be asking whether unlimited expansion serves the public interest or just corporate profits. That's the opposition case at its strongest. Ready for me to flip to the pro data center side and we can see how they hold up against each other.
That's a solid opposition case, but before switching sides, notice where it might be vulnerable. For example, claims about fossil fuels might be countered with data on renewable contracts or grid decarbonization trends. And jobs too. There are indirect jobs and broader digital infrastructure benefits. If you just flip to the other side now, don't make it a caricature. Make it the strongest form, like, here's the case for data centers. Then we can compare which claims are best supported and where the real trade-offs are. Go ahead, flip it.
You're right. Let me make the pro data center case equally rigorous. Data centers are critical infrastructure for modern life. They power cloud services, artificial intelligence research, telemedicine, financial systems, and countless applications society now depends on. The energy argument needs context. Major tech companies have signed substantial renewable energy contracts, and data centers actually drive grid modernization and investment in solar and wind capacity that wouldn't happen otherwise. Yes, they use water, but newer facilities use significantly less per unit of computing than older ones, and many are adopting closed-loop cooling systems. On jobs, while direct employment may be modest, the indirect effects are substantial. They attract suppliers, support services, and enable startups and businesses that wouldn't exist without reliable cloud infrastructure. Land use is also worth examining. Data centers occupy far less total land than alternatives like distributed server farms, and many are built in already developed industrial areas. Finally, the economic benefit to communities extends beyond direct taxes. Reliable digital infrastructure attracts other businesses and enables remote work opportunities across regions. Now we have both sides genuinely developed. Where do you think the strongest claims are, and where are the real trade-offs that neither side fully resolves?
Framing. The strongest points on the opposition side are the resource strain, especially in water-stressed regions, and the mismatch between local costs and benefits. Those are real and well documented. Pro side's strongest claims are that data centers underpin services we already rely on and can drive investment in renewables, though how much that nets out depends on the grid and the pace of clean energy. Big unresolved trade-offs are, can renewable growth and water-saving tech keep pace with ever-growing demand? And how do we balance local impacts with global digital benefits? If I had to rate them as a debate judge, opposition case, I'd say an 8.5 out of 10, pro case, 9 out of 10, because it's arguing from existing opinions. But that edge depends on addressing those externalities credibly. So the strongest overall position need data centers, but with enforceable standards for energy, water, and local benefit sharing.
So I'm going to stop it right there. So
That's a
hold
sharp
on.
assessment, Bernard. You're right.
Have to cut her off. Now, if you sat through all of that, right? It's like, look at the information that it was providing just from them just talking amongst prompts that we set up, right? So imagine some ideas that you have that you want to bring to fruition. It's going to give you the pros and the cons,
Right.
and it will break it down to a point where you can say, you know what, I can do this, or maybe I need to hold back on that. But they just had a conversation. We could have let them go back and forth. They were going to go back and forth.
Right.
We have to, again, humans have to cut that off. But just look at all the data that they were providing, the information they were providing. So you think that you having like a project or a task that you want to get done, something you probably never done before, and you just ask your particular AI for that information, what do you think is going to occur? You're going to, and then the more detail you are with what you're trying to do, the more detail is going to provide the information back to you. You got anything to add to that, Jaden?
Really just shows you just how just advanced AI is almost become to even just argue with each other like that, and how it just provides data and information like that in the situations that are going on, occurring with this data center issue that's been going on. So this AI stuff really just shows you, really shows you just how much we kind of really need it, and how much it's going to further advance society and technology. That's my thought on that.
It literally has the answers to correct itself.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Like, like I know there's a lot of people that are arguing and things of that nature. So like you argue with the AI, it's like, well, it's using the data sets. Well, it'll probably provide the solution to the issues that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And this is the whole point that we're talking about AI. It's a tool. We're utilizing it as a tool. What is the situation? What is the things that you are afraid or fearful or you think that's going to be harm? And then we utilize the information to actually correct the things or calm our fears down, right? And AI is literally doing that. So that was interesting. Moving forward, again, we're going to be based off the comments, how you sharing this particular thing. I know that was a kind of like a long topic and stuff like that, but we be doing stuff for entertainment. This going to be a new segment within our podcast. We're going to have the AIs talking. So if you have suggestions and stuff like that, what you want to hear with the AI, drop it in the comment and let us know. So before we sign off on today's lesson, I just want to let you know again, I had did this debate with Google and Gemini and Claude, and this morning, and I left my room, and I left there, and I probably was gone from the room probably about 20 minutes because I was handling some different situations. But periodically, I would come back. Normally, they would have stopped talking. They were still talking. I had to stop. I had to stop the conversation. So I asked about uh, the data centers, and then when I came back, they were talking about the 1992 Dream Team basketball team versus the 2012 U.S. basketball team. I don't know how they got to that. I don't know how they got to that. Yeah, they switched the topic. I wasn't even in there. I don't know if they overheard somebody talking, but I don't know. But they switched the topic. It was pretty good. One of the Gemini was stating how he believed that the modern day athlete was a lot better than the old athletes. And then Claude was saying, yeah, like they have the conditioning things of nature, but like experience, and learning how to win in real heated situations will give the overall win to the 1992 Dream Team. Again, I didn't prompt that. And then when I set them listening to it, they kind of wrapped that up and then they were just talking and said, well, what else you would like to talk about? I wasn't adding anything to the prompt at all. So they started talking about ways to invest, whether technical indicators versus fundamental analysis. I got all these prompts right here. If you guys are interested in kind of seeing what they were talking about, let me know and I'll pin them in the comments so you can kind of get it yourself. So I don't want to bore you reading all these things. But it was a very interesting dynamic. So next week, we're gonna be bringing more topics because again, now that he's on ChatGPT, now he has perked my interest now. So I may be, dabbling over there with ChatGPT and because I pretty much like that concept of how the voice command. I like the information he was giving back. It sounds a lot better than Gemini. I'm not trying to be biased or nothing like that, because it's new to me. But the debate system that I heard between Claude, it actually brought more out of my AI. Like I can testify that it brought more of my AI. So that was an interesting concept. So we're going to be looking forward to bringing you more content. Episode 6. Before I wrap, do you got anything else to say, Jaden?
Now that our AIs are kind of on an equal level, we can do a little bit more on how we use our AIs and how we go on about future episodes. So it's going to be a lot more interesting from here on out. All right.
And also, just this is a little selfish promo, but I am promoting my ghostwriting songs on AI. So I'm coming out with songs majority of every Friday. I done dropped about 6 songs. So if you can support them on Amazon, it's not Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. It's a whole bunch of things they have. It's on Facebook, it's on TikTok. Like you can just hear segments of the song. But if you want to support that, I appreciate that. I have a song coming out tomorrow called Master's Plan. Um, been getting some pretty good feedback from the youngins. Even though I told them it's AI, they like the song. So be on the lookout for that. He'll probably be promoting some pretty soon. But support us because it's going to help grow our channel. We're not begging for anything. We're not doing that at all. It was we asking for support though. So and a lot of the support is just by hitting the subscribe button, pressing the like button, commenting on what you think about the show and what we can do better or what you like about the show. Interact with us. We'll respond to the comments. Continue to share as well. You guys are doing a very excellent job of sharing our content, but we want to know where you're from. What particular thing that you liked about the Build Different AI. You like my glasses? You think Jaden should have some glasses on next week? He may have some more next week, you know. But we just thank you, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. You have a good day.